All right, today we are diving into something that might just completely rewire how we think about artificial intelligence. It's a project called Knowledge3D, or K3D for short, and it's this radical new idea for how an AI can remember, learn, and maybe even think. This is pretty wild stuff, so let's get right into it.
I mean, think about it for a second. You can have this incredibly deep, brilliant conversation with a chatbot, right? But then you start a new chat, and poof, it's all gone. It's like it has amnesia. That's because most AIs today don't have a real, lasting memory. They're kind of stuck in a permanent now.
You see, our memory, a human memory, is like this rich, tangled web of ideas. We can jump from one thought to a totally different one just through some weird connection or analogy. But for AI right now, it's more like a long, linear scroll of text. Information just rolls on by, and once it's outside that little immediate window of context, it's basically gone forever.
In this scroll problem, it's not just some minor bug. No, it's a fundamental bottleneck. It's what stops an AI from really getting deep context, from understanding how things are related over time, and from building, a stable picture of the world. This leads to a really well-known issue in machine learning. It's called catastrophic forgetting. It basically means when you try to teach a model something new, it often just completely overwrites and forgets the old stuff. It's like trying to build a house of cards. You add one new card in the wrong place, and the whole thing can just come tumbling down.
So, how in the world do you fix a problem that big? Well, the team behind K3D started by asking a really profound question, one that kind of challenges the whole way we build AI.
They asked, what if we just stopped thinking about memory as this flat, one-dimensional line of text? What if we could finally break free from that endless scroll?
And here it is, the core idea. What if an AI's memory wasn't a list, but a world, a universe it could actually inhabit and explore, where concepts aren't just words on a page, but actual places? So, this is the crucial part, the absolute genius of it. In the K3D universe, how close two things are physically tells you how related they are in meaning. Closeness equals relatedness. That one simple rule changes everything. It turns a boring flat list of facts into a meaningful spatial map, a literal memory palace for an AI.
Now, you're probably thinking a project this ambitious, this mind-bending, has to come from a huge corporate lab with an army of PhDs, right? Well, the story behind K3D is honestly just as revolutionary as the tech itself. Get this, the architect of this whole vision is a guy named Daniel Ramos. He's an electrical engineer and he lives in a Brazilian favela. And the kicker? He has no formal background in coding. He calls his method vibe coding, basically using his intuition to guide the work, which he does with a whole team of AI partners.
This quote from him really just says it all. This isn't about a person just using AI like a calculator. No, this is a story of genuine co-creation. It's a deep partnership between a human visionary and his artificial collaborators. And just look at this team. It's one human architect, Daniel, directing this whole ensemble of AIs. We're talking Codex, Grok, DeepSeek, Gemini, you name it. So K3D isn't just a new kind of software, it's being built by a totally new kind of team. It's pioneering this future where innovation is a truly symbiotic process.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, but how does it actually work? How do you go about building a mind that thinks in 3D? Let's get into the architecture a little bit.
The creators use this brilliant analogy. They call it Minecraft for cognition. Just picture that. Imagine a world where every single piece of knowledge, a book, an idea, a picture, is a physical 3D object that you can actually pick up, look at, and see how it fits with everything else around it. It makes abstract ideas totally concrete.
A key piece of the magic here is what they call the dual client system. Both humans and AIs are in the exact same 3D reality, but they just see it differently. For us humans, the client renders this rich, visual world, kind of like a video game. The AI, on the other hand, it sees the exact same 3D shapes, but they're textured with the raw mathematical data, the embeddings that represent their actual meaning.
So the AI's mind is really split into two parts. First, there's the galaxy. You can think of this as its working memory, like the RAM in your computer. It's this huge, chaotic, always changing space where new information and the current conversation exist as a cloud of little stars.
And then there's the house. This is the AI's long-term, permanent memory. It's hard drive. During what they call sleep time computing, the AI takes all that messy knowledge from the chaotic galaxy and organizes it,
consolidates it into this structured 3D house. It turns abstract concepts into real objects, like books on a shelf or trees in a garden. This becomes its stable, permanent model of the world.
So what happens when an AI doesn't just process data, but actually lives inside of it? Well, the implications they're profound.
I mean, an AI built this way could unlock things we've only ever dreamed of. Because it has a stable world, it can have true, persistent memory. Because it understands relationships spatially, it can get a much, much deeper understanding of context. This could even lead to something like human intuition, as it starts to see patterns in its own universe of knowledge. And maybe the most important thing of all, it allows for a truly shared reality between us and them.
Ultimately, K3D is this fundamental shift in thinking. It's about moving AI away from being this stateless tool that just resets every time you talk to it, and toward being a persistent, cognitive partner that learns and grows and remembers right there alongside us.
And this quote just captures the entire philosophy perfectly. The world is the memory. Instead of trying to cram the entire world into an AI's brain, you just let the world be the memory. The AI's job isn't to know everything, but to be an expert navigator of its own massive external mind.
Which, it leaves us with this one last fascinating question. For decades, we've been building AI as a tool that we command. K3D suggests a totally different path. What happens when we stop building tools and we start building worlds that we can actually share with them?